divine light of the self present here. Very inspiring to hear Andrew's story. I had a privilege of meeting Andrew about 15 years back in one of the satsangs he conducted at S. Vyas University, and today we are meeting. About my life story. So this body is known as Narsimha Prabhu for the world. As far as myself, I am a nobody. Nobody means not a body. Everybody thinks that this is a person. I am not a thing, a person, a nothing. Whatever I am to tell you is not for me, but what happened to this body for many years. I was fortunate. When I say I always refer to body. Okay? So I was fortunate. Since very young age, I had very intense practices of yoga under a great master. For almost 15 years, very intense practice of Hatha Yoga, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Various things I went through without knowing where it's heading. Okay, it's all a part of, like, somebody is interested in cricket, somebody is interested in football. I was attracted to this, and I also didn't know where it's going. Okay, and I didn't ask also. It was joy to do that, and I was doing it. When I was young, there was a yogi who came to me. I had an opportunity to meet a yogi who initiated me into Kundalini Yoga early in the Brahmi Muhurt at 3 o'clock. He came from river Tunga, and I had not heard of him before that. I had not heard of him later. So that's the only time I heard of him. I met him. So there was a initiation into Kundalini Yoga. So I had a good fortune of going through many things without asking for it and without knowing where it's going. So that's why I was never a seeker. I was just accepting life as it comes. I did my MTech master's program, and life was always very tough for me, in the sense because of the family economic conditions and intense competition what you have in India. I was always striving to make things happen, and I was always doing well in studies. I joined a job, and the job was very interesting, and I dedicated to my work very intensely, because it was a work of national importance, where I was working on a telecom research project, and I thought it's important for the country, and I was always seeing the people who will be benefited by that. Somehow my practice of Raja Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, and now it became a Karma Yoga. I didn't know the word called Karma Yoga also. I was working for intense long durations, without holidays, for many days, and every time when I was thinking of the benefit it will bring to people. That's all was my mind. And I think that led to a lot of the Karma Hatha Yoga and Kundalini Yoga led to a lot of inner purification in the nervous system. And Karma Yoga did a lot to my mental purification, something like that. One day I was doing, when I was about 28 or 29 years, I was doing my Sandhya Vandanam or meditation. Suddenly I started feeling a rush of energy in my spinal cord, in my nervous system. It went into my brain, and it activated many centers, and it entered into what you call as Sahasrara, or the top of the head. It was a very, very unique experience, very, very powerful experience, and I opened my eyes. That is the day my world ended as I know it. I saw everything is connected in the universe. Universe is a living being. I started crying. The cry of what was so overflowing joy. The wall was no longer a stone. It was me, not in me in the sense personal sense. There's a me universal sense. The tree is me, the plant is me, the bird flying in the sky is me. Everything is a part of me. Don't think me, confuse the me with the Prabhu as a body, the Prabhu as a consciousness, which is I call as nobody. The life was such a joyful, and I could not share with anybody. I just wanted to share with my mother something, and I told her. She got shocked out of her life. Okay, so then I was not able to communicate to anybody. This is so different, and everybody is seeing the world as individual. I was also seeing that. Now the world is a living entity. It is a very different life altogether. And of course, I had heard all these things, what you call Advaita, Kundalini experience, and all those things are somewhere I've read and all. But never I had an imagination that something can happen to this fellow. Okay, so then what happened? I was working very intensely. In the office, life was tough, and somewhere the people are seeing the world in a different way, and I see the world in a different way. People are running around with the big problems, and I smile. Then I was senior manager, and people think that this guy is manager is supposed to be very grim and very tough and jump at the problem. So this guy is smiling. Something is wrong with this manager. So I had to hide my understanding. Okay, I had to keep it to myself to somehow manage my life in the world. So I managed to keep it under guard. And I also was curious, what is this all about? Okay, I have read about so many things. Then this question led me to so many masters. Where I used to go, Andrew was one of them. I used to go there and just sit. Okay, many times I used to sit in tears. The tears will flow. And many times I used to get my goosebumps. The shirt, the hairs will stand erect, and my shirt will rotate. That is and the intensity is so high, so joyful. I call it as ecstasy or joy and overflowing love, because everything is connected. I tried to separate out my office life from this, tried not to show to anybody, but I used to meditate for hours. Come off working, come and sit in the home, few hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. My mother, who is sitting there, she got worried. Okay, this fellow is going into some room and sitting and meditating. Something is wrong. Okay, she heard a lot of stories about people becoming monk and all. Okay, she came to her daily advice for me, so don't get into this, okay, this is all not for you. Spirituality is not for you, spirituality is for monks. So they somehow like that passed, and people used to started coming one by one. And believe me, nobody came for anything called spiritual. Okay, first case who came was marriage. Either somebody wants to get married, or somebody wants to is in trouble in marriage. So that led to my first law of enlightenment. If you want to get enlightened, marriage is the first and most important thing to happen. If you get married, there is a problem. If you don't get married, there is a problem. So gateway to enlightenment is marriage. That's not my first law. So then second is people trouble in the job, people trouble tension, and it is not like I was a counselor. Okay, people come to me because somebody told them this guy gives some good advice. So go. So they come. Then I found everybody is troubled somewhere. Okay, with marriage trouble, without marriage trouble, with job trouble, without job trouble, and people came with deep psychological disorders also. Deep psychology, somebody is taking on medication for a time. So then I had no question, no desire to be a guru, or nobody desired to be a teacher, and I just want to be nobody now also. So then I started advising people, and people somehow found some counsel, peace. Then gradually they listened to me. Why are you getting this thing? I said everything is connected in the universe. Then how it is possible? That is God, enlightenment, liberation, all those things. Then they got curious. Now their smaller problem got replaced with a bigger problem. The smaller problem was marriage. Now the bigger problem is how to get enlightenment. So this is the key. Replace the smaller problem with the bigger problem called enlightenment. And many people are now happy. They've happily forgotten their smaller problems. They're after enlightenment. So that led to me many teachers, and some good, some bad. I had a good opportunity, good privilege of interacting closely with the Mata Amritandamai. So life was a flow, a continuous flow, a joyful flow, with a lot of up and downs. I have seen very severe ups and downs in my career, very severe problems, but I was always equanimously accepting. Then, due to Providence, I met, and this actually feeling of oneness, a feeling this thing, it continued for a long time. It's not one time, okay? It is a ongoing experience. It's just not coming and disappearing. Then one day I met my master, Ajja. So he looked into me and said, "Who are you? Who am I? What is Ajay is saying? Who am I? I am so and so." My biodata was actually, I was applying for jobs, no? My biodata was 3-page resume. So who am I? This question possessed me. Then I had the opportunity to get to many of the Vedantic teachings, very great teachers in non-duality, duality, Advaita. So with that, my understanding of this phenomenon grew, and my students also started growing, and I started teaching them. I didn't have any formal mechanism of teaching. Whatever teaching I used to come. This thing, it evolved actually. It just grew. So finally, I sat down to a method of teaching, of ancient Vedantic teaching. It's actually Sri Ramana Maharshi's direct path, which is who am I, and Atmananda Sri Krishna Menon's path of Advaita teaching. So some of the people got benefited, and some people got benefited, some people didn't get benefited. But so overall, some people you can see here. That's where I am.
So, if I can stop you for a minute.
Yeah.
So when you